Well, this is yet another piece of evidence about the condition of human rights and the state of democracy in Pakistan. Massive protests have erupted across the country, especially in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, with locals alleging that there was widespread rigging in the local elections that eventually helped Nawaz Sharif's party, the PMLN, sweep the polls which were held on 21st of July. After winning these fixed elections, Nawaz Sharif once again raised the Kashmir issue at a meeting with the newly elected representatives. He said that the issue of Kashmir is an unfinished agenda of the UN.
This is the real face of Pakistan's so-called democracy. Screams to live fearless, cries to live free, going unheard. Any and every voice of dissent crushed, choked and thrashed brutally. A huge anti-Pakistan outcry right here in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. A big clampdown on the media. Fury over Pakistan's ISI rigging elections in Nawaz Sharif's favor. And yet, Pakistan plays the Kashmir double game.
और हम उस दिन के मुंतजिर हैं जब इंशाल्लाह कश्मीर बनेगा पाकिस्तान.
It's the biggest sham in the name of democracy by Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, forcibly holding elections in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and then stifling voices of dissent, gagging the media and beating up protesters.
Development progress happening, nor are the citizens there granted their legitimate rights.
Pakistan-occupied Kashmir has burned. Protests are spreading to Muzaffarabad, Kotli, Chinari and Mirpur after members of Nawaz Sharif's party, the PMLN, killed a supporter of the Muslim conference in Muzaffarabad.
ये बौखला गए हैं, ये यकीनी शिकस्त को देखते हुए नवाज लीग और पीपल्स पार्टी बौखलाई हुई है, ये प्रोपेगेंडा पे उतर आए हैं, ये कत्ल पे उतर आए हैं. कोई लड़ाई झगड़ा नहीं करना है. जिन लोगों ने अभी कर दिया है उसका हिसाब लेंगे, खून का हम हिसाब लेंगे और खून के बदले खून होगा.
Within days of Nawaz Sharif's claim of sweeping the elections, winning 32 of 41 seats, thousands of locals have come out onto the streets claiming they were barred from voting. But Pakistan doesn't care about democracy or human rights in its own backyard as it continues to meddle in India, fanning unrest, pushing terrorists like Bahadur Ali into India to disrupt peace, unleash mayhem and spill blood on India's streets, and then play the Kashmir card to grab international attention.
की तहरीक आजादी को कोई रोक नहीं सकता. इंशाल्लाह वो कामयाब होकर रहेगी.
With Manjeet Negi, Bureau Report, India Today.
आजादी मकबूजा कश्मीर.
So in cahoots with the ISI, the polls are fixed by the PMLN in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Yet Pakistan doesn't have the faintest sense of irony when it lectures India on supposedly not giving the people of Kashmir that or even the undue use of force, even though there are videos, there's documented evidence about how anyone who dissents against the government in Pakistan is actually shot dead in cold blood. This is what is happening in Balochistan.
Nawaz Sharif may shut his eyes as human rights are ruthlessly butchered in Pakistan's own backyard in Balochistan, but he cannot cover up the horror anymore. The entire world watches as anti-Nawaz chants are smothered and the ISI continues to rig sham polls in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir in favor of the Pakistani establishment, viciously unleashing a reign of terror to silence an outcry building up for years. Pakistan keeps many masks handy, squashing voices seeking freedom in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, Balochistan and Gilgit-Baltistan, brutally repressing the struggle for Baloch independence, all the while bullying India in Kashmir, provoking and playing the Kashmir card. As Pakistan continues its Baloch occupation, official documents reveal that over 1,000 mutilated corpses have been recovered from various parts of Balochistan in the past 6 years. Over 51% of these bullet-ridden bodies were identified as ethnic Baloch, 22% belonged to Pashtuns, while the others were either Punjabis, Afghan refugees or non-Muslims. Shot 8 times in the head and chest and abandoned in a Pakistani desert. This video of cold-blooded murder by Pakistan government forces in the country's troubled Balochistan province is shocking the world. Pakistan's brutal oppression of the ethnically unique Balochi people has remained mostly hidden from the world. The savage reality unmasked very rarely, like in this new video. Look closely at the cold-blooded sequence of events. First, 4 unmarked Pakistan government security vehicles arrive, with Balochi prisoners bundled inside. Then 3 Pakistan personnel take a prisoner and walk a few meters away from the vehicles as a Pakistan soldier films from his mobile. The 3 men remove their prisoners blindfold. Two soldiers walk away. The third fires 3 shots at the Balochi activist, sending him crashing to the ground. Then he approaches his victim to shoot 4 more bullets into his head. As he leaves, he decides to make absolutely sure, so he walks back for a final shot to the head. But it doesn't end there. The killer takes out his mobile phone for a photo souvenir of his victim. Then a second soldier does the same. There's a reason why Balochistan's insurgency against Pakistan's dirty war has intensified in recent months. With activists crying hoarse about the cloak of silence, a terrifying, dark and ruthless repression is visible only in such rare glimpses on video. Bureau Report, India Today.
And the atrocities against the minorities also continue unabated. 2 Hindu teenagers were shot in Pakistan's Sindh province over allegations of the Quran desecration, while another was arrested for blasphemy. One of the victims, 17-year-old Divan Satish Kumar, succumbed to his injuries, while his friend Avinash is still critical. Dawn has reported that this incident comes just a day after a Hindu man was arrested over blasphemy charges in the Ghodki area of the province that shares its border with India. All big and small towns in Ghodki remained closed on Wednesday because of communal tension, with cities deserted for the 2nd consecutive day. Young boys from the minority shot dead and young impoverished boys from within Pakistan armed and sent across the border as terrorists into India. And now the NIA team is in Srinagar to take over the case of one such man, Pakistani Lashkar terrorist nabbed alive from Kupwara. The government now plans to use this man, who has been identified as Bahadur, to get more information about how he was trained and sent across and really identify Pakistan's role in pushing terrorists into India. Now, actor Irfan Khan was in the news recently because he raised questions about whether symbolism and money power has overtaken the real meaning of devotion and piety in Islam. But naturally, soon after he asked those questions, he was attacked by the radicals who said that he brought shame upon the religion and that he was insulting it. Despite this backlash, he remained resilient. In fact, he spoke about his beliefs to my colleague Rajdeep Sardesai. Here's an excerpt.
There are different practices like zakat. You know, unless and until we understand a bigger purpose in that, what is it meant for? So my intention was not to talk at that time, but somebody asks you and you're in a mental state, you know, you sometimes
So nothing to do
react.
with the film?
Nothing to do with the film.
Nothing to do with the film? You've been thinking about this for a long time, you wanted to stir a debate within the community?
No, I don't want to stir a debate because I want people to discuss this, but I don't want to take the flag in my hand and say, okay, let's come and debate.
You see, namaz, roza, hajj, zakat and sacrification of gods during Bakra Eid, that is Eid ul-Azha, not Muharram. I have to correct you, it's not Muharram, Eid, Bakra Eid. This is a part of worship, not a ritual.
कई बार क्या होता है, कुछ चीज़ें बता दी गई होती हैं लेकिन वो इंटरप्रिटेशन के लिए खुली हुई होती हैं, उसके अलग अलग इंटरप्रिटेशन निकल आते हैं। अभी हुआ यही है कि एक इस्लाम हर फिलॉसफी में एक सेल्फ डिफेंस का एक तरीका बताया गया है और ज़िंदगी को हारमोनियसली सबके साथ रहने का तरीका बताया गया है। कभी कभी क्या होता है कि पॉलिटिकल पावर गेन करने के लिए आप एक उसका हिस्सा पिकअप कर लेते हैं और उसको मिसयूज़ किया जाता है, और उसकी वजह से हो ये रहा है कि आप डिफ़ॉल्ट मुसलमान हैं।
So you're saying the Quran, the precepts, the precepts, the practices, the fundamental... 1 minute, sir. 1 minute.
मैं एक मेरी बात सुन लीजिए।
Do you believe that the concepts of Quran have been misinterpreted? Have you read the Quran in full?
जी, I have read.
You've read it in full?
Yeah, but I'm not an authority.
You don't claim to be an authority.
I also read different interpretation.
इरफान साहब ने जो बात कही है, हम इरफान साहब की मुखालफत नहीं करना चाहते, हमारे भाई है ये। हो सकता है कि इनको अब आहिस्ता आहिस्ता इस्लाम का ज्ञान और हासिल करेंगे ये, मगर मैं इरफान साहब से ये कहना चाहता हूं कि जब तक आपके पास पूरी इस्लाम के बारे में ज्ञान नहीं है, तो मजहब के बारे में अल्लाह के वास्ते आप उसको मत बोलो, क्योंकि इससे एक कंट्रोवर्सी पैदा होती है।
जनाब, मैंने कभी भी इस्लाम के बारे में उस तरह से नहीं कहा, मैंने अपनी पर्सनल ओपिनियन बताई थी, मैं क्या समझता हूं, और मैं कोई अथॉरिटी नहीं हूं किसी के बारे में बोलने के लिए, और मैं इसीलिए फिल्म के वक्त में नहीं आया। मैंने कहा था जब फिल्म रिलीज हो जाएगी उसके बाद मैं इस बात पे बात करूंगा, ताकि इसका फिल्म से कोई लेना देना ना हो।
But one must ask, isn't it important for voices like Irfan Khan to be heard in every religion, to just raise questions about what is the real meaning of religion? Is it subjective? Does every person decide what religion is for them? That full interview coming up at 9 p.m. with Rajdeep Sardesai. But also, before we end India First, a story which really makes us think about the way in which the law can also sometimes be subverted. Salman Khan was in fact discharged of all charges in the Chinkara shooting case. That because the court gave him the benefit of doubt, said one of the key witnesses did not turn up for cross-questioning. He was unavailable. Now, India Today has tracked down this witness. What's interesting, he says, he wasn't even approached.
Salman Khan is a free man, acquitted just 2 days back in the infamous Chinkara poaching case from nearly 2 decades ago. The superstar has one less legal trouble to worry about. But a crucial voice from the past has now spoken out and put a massive question mark over the court verdict that has just cleared Salman. Maruti Gypsy driver Harish Dulani, who was hired by the film crew Salman Khan was involved in for the desert shoot, has now been tracked down by India Today 18 years after he first made his explosive claims, saying he saw Salman Khan step out of the vehicle and fire at Chinkaras. First, he says he never went missing, as claimed by the prosecution lawyers.
कहाँ गायब हूँ मैं? जोधपुर में ही हूँ, पेशे पे जा रहा हूँ टमाटम।
Then he says he completely stands by his word from 18 years ago. A statement he made to the district magistrate claiming he saw with his own eyes Salman Khan killing Chinkaras.
मैंने 164 का बयान दिया है, उस पे मैं कायम हूँ। जो याद था वो बोला, वो उस पे कायम हूँ। 26/9/98 को गए थे, वहाँ गए बवाद, वहाँ शिकार किया उन्होंने। शिकार करके 2 शिकार किए, हिरन को मार के फिर जोधपुर लाए, गर्दन हलाल करके जोधपुर लाए।
Worse still, the driver also claims he has been receiving death threats.
तो धमकी मिली, मैं घबरा गया था बस।
क्या धमकी मिली थी?
पिताजी को मिली।
क्या?
बस
क्या मिली आप बताएं?
मिली उसे में वो हमने कोर्ट को भी बता दी और कोई सुरक्षा हमें नहीं मिली।
With India today tracking down the allegedly missing witness, apparently the only one who actually claims to have seen Salman's alleged crime being committed. Several questions now explode. Was Harish Dulani, the driver, silenced with pressure? Are attempts afoot to silence key witness? Who is issuing death threats to witness? Is trouble not over for Salman in poaching case? Will driver's word mean trouble for Salman? The superstar actor's acquittal has met with widespread shock and disbelief, with several wondering if the wheels of justice ever turn against the rich and powerful, while only the law and courts can decide guilt and innocence. Can the words of the sole witness in the case be ignored at this time? With Sharad Kumar in Jaipur, Bureau Report, India Today.